And from the 1st of September, not only was it revamped, but a whole new experience is promised to celebrate its 4th birthday. The special edition of this night market will feature games, arts and entertainment. Here with me to talk more about it is Matthew Dowdle from Kalashnikov Gallery to explain more about the night market. Matthew, thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Look, let's maybe start at the basics. I know there are some people that have never been to that area of Braam because there's a preconceived idea that it's still dangerous, and yet over the last 5 years it's completely revamped itself. It's become cool and chic place to hang out.
Absolutely. In the last 5 years you've seen a massive change in the area. That's mostly due to the art galleries. The Neighbourgoods market has played a huge role, and there's a lot of really interesting small businesses that have brought the area back to something that's a great place to go every weekend.
And that's family friendly.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about how Kalashnikov got involved with the neighborhood goods market, because predominantly, from my limited understanding, that it was mostly on the Saturday mornings, but now the night market, which took a break for this winter, is back.
Exactly. So Kalashnikov Gallery is quite interesting in the way that we've always been involved with events and the music side of, we're not just curating art events, but also music and cultural events that have a lot of different aspects. So it was a natural step for some of the owners of the Neighbourgoods market to include us in curating a really interesting musical experience for the first Thursday night market.
And let me ask you this: when you're curating that experience, you've got to take into fact that the neighborhood goods market has developed its own little culture, its own little following. So you've got to curate an experience that ties into that and doesn't break it apart.
Exactly. So the aim is now to see the first Thursday night market as more of a cultural platform where people can showcase entertainment that falls under the art. So there's going to be a really strong influence from video art and screenings, and we're going to do a lot more performance art, and you're going to see some theatre aspects coming into the night market. So you're going to see a more mature sort of, how do you say, curated approach towards a different type of entertainment that people can enjoy from all ages.
For anybody who's never been there, from my recollection, it's 2 floors, an outside area, on the top part with 2 floors. Yeah,
beautiful balcony that overlooks the rest of the sort of precinct, the Play Braamfontein precinct, and the bottom floor is all your artisanal food, all your gourmet food traders, and upstairs is your entertainment area. There's a wonderful craft bar. This coming Thursday, on the 1st of September.
That layout stays the same though.
So yeah, the entertainment will be upstairs, the main market will be downstairs, and we've got the Amaze Festival from Berlin. They're joining us to do a pop-up arcade in conjunction with their main festival, which also happens in Braamfontein. And they're amazing because what they do is they bring games that are not really mainstream. It's independent games, and it's also playful media, technology, virtual reality. So it's the sort of activity that everyone can enjoy.
Matthew, how do you utilize this space? Because it's quite a big open space. When you're curating the entertainment, you've got to create in such a way that it's maybe the word seamless is not the right word, but it's got to flow in many ways, so that when you're moving from one spot to another, how have you looked at the space?
I think you've got to put yourself in the position of the user.
Yeah.
So you've got to imagine when you walk up the stairs to the 2nd floor, what's the first thing you're going to see? So the first thing you'll probably see on Thursdays, we've got an installation by Red Bull, which is part of the Red Bull Music Weekender, which is a massive festival that happens all across the city. So this is one of the first things you'll see from the Weekender is happening at the market. It's an audio-visual installation. It's featuring artworks from a young photographer. Her name's Elsa Bleder, and she's taken amazing nightscape photography of Johannesburg. So
that's interesting.
Exactly. It's an audio-visual show from her exhibition, and then there's also going to be great DJs from the Red Bull Music Academy performing, and then from there you'll flow into the Amaze Arcade. Is
this also an opportunity, especially from your gallery perspective? You're obviously working with artists, upcoming artists, established artists, but does this allow you to also test the market with maybe new artists and how they react in an uncontrolled environment? Because that's really what it is. A gallery is very structured.
Exactly. Well, this is a way to see how people react to seeing the artworks, but in a context where they're not exactly sure how or why. They just know, wow, this is amazing to look at. But what is also great is the gallery is open on the night, and the same show, the actual photography in the frames, is up in the gallery, and you can see a live revamped video version up at the market. So we'll get a dialogue between both spaces.
For a lot of people that are not familiar with that gallery, can you give us some details on where they can log and find out more about the gallery, the work that you're doing, the artists you're exposing?
Yeah, absolutely. If you check out kalashnikov.co.za, it's Kalashnikov with 2 V's at the end. You'll check out all our artist rosters. You can also check us out at the FNB Art Fair in 2 weeks. And we are about a 1-minute walk from the Neighbourgoods market, right there in the precinct.
Just very, very quickly, we've got a little bit of time, but just the history of your gallery as well, in terms of how you ended up being in Braam?
Well, we ended up being in Braam because we used to do pop-up exhibitions. We used to take over industrial spaces that were in limbo, somewhere halfway between being an office space that was rented out or something that was about to be developed there. So we used to move around Newtown, Maboneng, Braamfontein. We did one show in Braamfontein as a pop-up, and that's when we developed a good relationship with the property developer for that area, which is Adam Levy from Play Braamfontein. And he really enjoyed what we were doing, and I think the main thing was the diversity of the crowd that came to the event. It was really well attended, but the people there were super interesting. You had all your musicians, artists, famous writers, and really the who's who. So I think when the management company saw, wow, they're bringing these people to the area, we started a conversation on how do we do this long term and how do we make the gallery a permanent fixture in the area.
And it is a very interesting area. If you've never been to Braam, you can dispel all those horrible things you're hearing in your little play groups. Go and check it out. Apart from the Neighbourgoods night market, there's the market on a Saturday, there's all the galleries, and by the way, there's some really great restaurants if you want to go and have a foodie experience. That was Matthew Dowdle from Kalashnikov with 2 V's Gallery, showing more on the upcoming night market that will happen on the 1st of every month at the Neighbourgoods market that normally happens on a Saturday in Braamfontein. To find out more, just Google the details. We're taking an ad break. Don't go anywhere.